I've started recording, all right? Shut up and just talk.
Oh, oh, fantastic! All right, where did Eagles go? See, bro, you just like our first question, and you drove her away.
Yeah,
Do we have Eagles still?
I think she was
Do we
driving.
have Eagles still?
She was driving.
Uh,
She's
sh-
gone.
right,
All right,
right, okay.
we've got people.
Uh,
So welcome, morning, afternoon, evening. Thank you for making time, and let's get going. So the idea was to pull people up of different sizes as well. That does sound horribly wrong. To pull people up on stage who have a keep size of under 5 bill. Anybody in audience that is
we have
under 5 bill.
we have BD out here wanting to speak. Uh,
Yeah,
we just let him in first.
yeah, put them up.
Just did. I don't know what's happening. Uh, again, no. Can you pull him in? I don't know why my switch is not working.
I did. I don't. Who? No, you've already invited Be Happy. He hasn't accepted your invite. I'm gonna pull Andre. See if that
Okay.
works. Yeah, Andre's in. Hey, bud, how you doing?
So when you're a speaker, you have to unmute the mic. I just know this from experience. I have like
Oh,
done it a lot of times. I've been the speaker and I
okay.
haven't
Hello,
unmuted the mic.
everybody, and
Hello,
I'm
Andrew.
very
How are
glad to
you?
be here
All
and
right.
learn
We're
from the
glad to
best.
have you.
By
That's
the
a
way, I
bro.
watch
Also,
you
not me.
on YouTube. Even,
Oh, thank
yeah,
you.
I have a 4.7 billion keep, and my big problem is everyone is hitting me with siege. So yeah, they make a lot of damage.
Okay.
Okay.
What are you losing? How much are you losing? Can you share some reports?
Oh, I'm not that prepared, but I lose. The last one was 800 million power
Okay. Can you
on
tell us?
battlefield.
Can you tell us how your keep is layered? Like what troops do you have in your keep? So you said 4.7 billion. What does the 4.7 billion consist of?
Uh, I didn't hear you very well, Oz.
Can you tell us what troops do you have to make up the 4.7 billion power?
Oh, I all my layerings are 2 million and above.
Hmm.
Calves I have 400 million. T1s.
Okay,
Uh,
when you say calves, is that T1,
Siege
T1? Okay,
T1 calves.
okay. So when they hit you, are they wiping all your siege?
And they kill all my siege. Yeah, they wipe all my siege when
Yeah,
they hit me.
yeah. So
Uh,
that's just
I,
and
I,
sorry. Go on,
yeah,
yeah,
people.
sorry. Sorry, I was gone. Sorry, I was gone.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's just part of your growth. Like you're gonna hit these
okay.
points during your growth, and I don't know how much you coin and what lines you're in and all that type of stuff. But there are going to be points during your growth when your alliance and you will reach certain size where you would meet opponents that can
Yeah,
solo you for a little bit, right? So right now, because you have that 2 million siege layer, which is
yeah,
super weak, like it's not enough to defend, but it is
yeah.
enough for someone to take points from you. So that siege will keep doing damage for a little while. What you can do is, depending on your mod size, you can ghost your top tier siege. So when they siege
Hmm.
you, you'd probably lose less points on the first hit, and then second hit onward, they wouldn't be able to siege you. Like if they would, but they wouldn't be able to get a lot of points out of you. It won't do as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I understand. Basically, in SBS, I ghost calves. I have 2.5 million
Yeah.
T14 calves.
Yeah. So
T14.
that is yes. So that is what like just extending to what Oz saying is like you will be
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable to both Arch and Siege, right? And just extending what Oz said.
Yeah.
Like there are certain things that mechanics just can't sort out because like let's remember this is a play to win game, and people who are paying like pay to win game, and people who are paying more will have advantages, right? And
Yeah,
when you're
of
saying
course.
you're losing 800 million, that's not a lot. You're just losing siege. I would be very worried if you're losing both siege and archers, but you're
No, no,
just losing
just Siege.
siege.
Yeah,
You're
only
just
Siege.
losing six, and that can happen. And like I mean, you can mitigate, like you can reduce the damage if you work on siege HP. We have a video on like the various things you can do to debuff siege HP. So the two things you
Mm-hmm.
can work on is your siege HP and debuffing siege HP. But then again, you will have a choice in gears and in dragon refines whether to go mounted HP flats, whether to go mounted HP percentage, or whether to go siege HP percentage. And I don't think if you're losing 800 million, siege HP percentage is the way to go. You should still retain mountain HP flats and actually stop the big clear from happening instead of losing 800, instead of worrying about losing 800 million in the first hit. That's going to happen. That's you try doing like the CHP debuff. Get if you're doing level 4 kicks, get the level 4 kick debuff gears for CHP. But
Mm-hmm.
beyond that, uh, I don't think there's much you can do. You are going to lose 800 million. That's just the game. All if you
Mm-hmm.
want to add anything to it.
No, I was sharing my screen. I've got a keep that I just got it, which is the RSP keep. Uh, it's similar to you in power, but the way it's been, this is a ground-based keep. It doesn't have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
camps. But what Cal's done is the siege layer is super thin. So I don't know if you can see the
Yeah.
screen, but if you can, you can see.
Yeah, I can see. I can see. Yeah,
So sh so
140K,
Yeah, so it's
2000K.
yeah, it's super thin, like it's enough to stop a siege solo. So every siege, like a siege gets busy enough to then get killed by the ground in the keep, but she doesn't have a lot of points to offer to the enemy on
Mm-hmm.
on the siege hit. But then she started making archers now, which do die a little bit more than the other layers. So as she grows, she's gonna have this problem of archers dying, but that's just part of growing. Like that'll constantly happen. And but she'll then again get to a size when again you wouldn't be able to siege her. So she's gonna grow archers, then she is gonna build other things, and then finally she would add siege.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much for the advice. I will
No
Thank
follow
you,
it.
problem.
And
thank you, Andre, for your time. I hope we were able
oh,
to help.
oh, anytime. Oh my God. Mostly, I see. I think all your battles still on YouTube. So yeah, I was very glad
Thank
when
you,
I when I
thank you
saw
so much for that.
you make
Thank you so much for that.
this.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, bud. Have a
Thank you,
good one.
Andre. Bye.
Bye bye.
Okay. Can we pull up Eagles again? She's back.
And She needs
I don't know
to
how to.
she needs to raise hand. I can't just pull people up. People need to raise hand. I can't. Otherwise, I don't think I can invite them.
Okay.
That was like a
Eagles is now a
undersubscribe.
speaker. No, I
Okay.
think Eagles is now a speaker.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
is.
Eagles, you have to unmute, please. You're on mute,
Yeah,
Eagle.
I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm here.
Hi, Eagles. Yeah.
Hi.
How can we help you?
Oh no, it's just I heard you having trouble hearing. That's all, or talking, or being heard. That's why I joined. But I'm good.
Okay.
I just like to listen
Okay.
in and take your advice on anything you offer. I do watch your YouTube channel as well.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
My pleasure.
All right. So we'll just go to the next question now.
All
Uh,
right.
does
Thank
anyone
you.
else have a
Uh,
bad MF4740? I'm inviting him now.
okay.
I can't invite him. I can invite Kiriano. Um,
You're inviting people too
okay.
fast. There we go. Arena is up.
Yeah, I'm fast, bro.
You're slow.
I am a woman 40, and I'm
Hi,
coming up
Arena.
against.
How are you?
All right, how are you guys? Thank you so much for taking my question, by the way.
No
I
problem.
am the biggest player on my server right now, so I have no one to ask. I just turned 40, got my first T15s, and coming up against a lot of 43s in Battleground. Just wondered what I should do to better defend my keep as far as defense wise with layers. Um,
Uh,
do you
what
have
would
any
be your
recommendations?
what would be your size?
I am 10.7 billion.
Okay, and what are you getting attacked by most?
Mostly they're semi-ranged, ranged rallies, usually around 2.6 billion or so. We just hit the
What would
major league, so we're coming up against some bigger opponents.
and what would be the size of the range rallies you're facing?
It's usually around 2.6 billion with a lot of
Uh,
T15s. If I'm reinforced, I do pretty well against them, but solo is not pretty.
no, what would
I
be the
do have a
size
lot of
of the rally?
layers.
What would be the size of the rallies?
Um, let's see. I'm gonna take my earbuds out so you can tell me better.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay,
It
is that
doesn't matter.
better?
Yeah, which server are you from?
1416.
Okay. So the advice I'm going to give you is very C5 centric because at 10.7 billion
Okay.
in C1, C2 in a bigger alliance, you will get solo sieged a lot, right? So
Right.
since you're telling me that you get mostly attacked by range, it's a completely different advice for you, and that's why I say that like
Okay.
there are no specific answers to questions. It just depends on which server you're playing and what you're coming up against, right? So
Okay.
what you want to do essentially is to stop the range going through all your calves in the first go. And that is super,
Right.
super important because once it
Okay.
goes through the calves, and I know that, like range is supposed to be weak against ground and range is supposed to be very weak against siege. But if the calves doesn't absorb the damage, range will just go through your keep completely and your all stars is coming up, right? And that might happen.
Right.
So, so what you really need to do is to make sure your calves absorb the most damage, right? So at
Uh huh.
10.7B, no one's gonna siege rally you. Probably a siege solo, which but solos don't happen much in all stars. So what you
Uh
have to
huh.
do is get your Cavaliers up from T1 to T7, and especially T67, make at least 50 million if you can. T1
Okay.
500 million plus, T2 T3 like 300 million T2, and go up like this, right? And go
Okay.
for full mounted HP flat refines on your gear, on your dragon, everything. Put both iron because I'm assuming you're a pretty decent coiner. If you're like a K40, 10, 11B, 14, 16. I'm assuming you're a pretty big coiner. So again,
Yeah.
uh, this advice is actually
Yes.
geared to that.
I will admit
That
it.
yeah. So
I'm
this
definitely
advice
the
is for
dirtiest one on the server. Let me just say that.
yeah. So this advice is geared for that. That you are a heavy, you're a like pretty big coiner, right? So and like the
Mm-hmm.
notion some people say that if you're a big coiner you can't have flats. I still run flats on my defense like so, at certain points I still
Okay.
run flats on my defense. So uh, get like all mounted HP flats, get your calves to absorb damage. You can probably do mountain defense flats. I am not sure
Okay.
how well they work, but you can do that. I don't do mounted attack flats. I have never done it. I will rather go with siege attack flats. But yeah, that's what that's what you want to be doing. You want to be protecting the other troop types before going they go through calves, because remember that except siege, which can be targeted like outside, except that calves are the troop type that goes out first and comes back last. So you need to give them as much HP as possible. Also, if you would like to add on that.
Okay.
Yep. I've just pulled up on my screen George Dewey. Can you see that or no? And can people see the screen at all or no?
Let me
Yeah, I can
see.
see your screen.
Okay. So this is This is a 10 bill keep, probably comparable to you. Uh, 1.1 bill troops, that is, majority of that is T1 layered all the way to T7 cabs. And the way the keep is
Okay.
structured right now is it has 8 cav attacks flat. It has all cav HP where possible, and then a little bit of ground defense uh, and cav defense. And the dragon is also all cav
Okay.
flats. So that's how I would play a 10 bill keep. I would have 90% of the troops in my keep as cav layers, and then everything on my wall would be centric to cavs. And then as you grow and
Okay.
go from 10 to I think about 15, you can bring in like one siege percent attack. You get to 20, you get to 20 bill, you go almost four siege percentages. So as you grow, you change how your wall works. You can also bring in like a siege percent, which Viper was talking about. But at that size,
Mm-hmm.
that's how I would play the game. I would just be all cav. I'd be all in on cabs because they would tank rallies.
Okay.
And Neff is like one of the biggest alliance in game. That's what 49, 48 mil rally on a 10 mil keep, no reen. So it's done pretty decent, losing only 3.8. It's almost
Uh-huh.
one even. And I'm
Okay.
sure the buffs in C5
So
wouldn't be as high as an average buff in a C1. Like Neff is probably a top 5 alliance, top 4 alliance in game.
I think the biggest buff we've seen is about 3,300, and that was in COC
Yeah,
about a week ago.
yeah. So I would say that you start shifting to a cav based sort of structure, and then as you grow, you add siege, and as you add siege, you can have more siege
All
refines
right.
and stuff on your wall. Siege is probably the easiest thing to grab for your wall because you get so much from so many places.
Okay,
Okay. One.
one last small thing. You need to debuff range as much as possible, which means the ring. You gotta get the range attack ring, range attack debuff ring. You gotta
Okay.
choose sub generals like that. Like go for Baldwin, NBK. These are like really good sub gens, even long term. Hoyo Yatsu. Yeah, go for sub gens which are debuffing range initially. You can go for Nut, but Nut is not good for long term. So I would say Baldwin, Hojo, then NBK, then Mark Anthony. You can get all this. Of course, Jan and Jiglamesh you can get, but since you're not getting sieged much, it's not important right now. But the rest of it you
Okay.
can definitely get, and it will stand the test of time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So
All right.
tier 7, do at least 50 million. Take it all the way down to 1 with bigger
Right.
layers. All right. I'll work on
Right.
that today. Thank you so much.
I'll try and
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you,
post
Arena.
I'll try and post a screenshot of a build guide sort of sheet in a little bit in the general chat of
Thank
the
you.
of the
Appreciate it.
Discord.
Thank you
Thanks.
so
Hey,
much, Arena, for your time.
All right.
Hi,
Thank
Bad
you.
MF. How are you?
okay. Hey, well, let me just say I've been watching you guys for a while on YouTube, and I'm a first time listener, so I don't know exactly what's going on. You may have answered this before, but what my question is whenever I'm attacking somebody, because I'm playing with a bunch of alts, I'm the only one that's going to be attacking. When I'm attacking them, I notice that you guys don't even look at your reports. I have to look back at my reports to see what I've killed to keep working it down. What does it mean when I'm hitting two different troops of that player?
So I'll take that if that's okay, Viper.
Yeah, sure.
The reason we don't look at troops when we hit someone is usually it just usually comes from experience. When you play the game for a number of years, And you've been playing a variety of servers, and you go from playing as a 40B alliance, like 30B alliance, like you grow along the way, and you eventually get to like 500, 600 bill to be at the top of the game. You've learned and you've seen a lot. You know exactly what people do, and it's purely just experience. You would look at the power, and you would know exactly what to hit it with. There'd be one in probably a 10,000 report where you would go wrong as to what troop type you set the rally with or what you soloed with. That rarely
Okay.
happens to older players. Uh, the other thing is the only time you would read reports, honestly, is probably just when you're soloing, like or before a solo in SVS. Like Battlefield, you can get away. You can make a mistake, quickly look at the report and go, okay, I splatted, what happened? And then you would go look at the report and then go after whatever the person has. So you just attack with a counter march. If they have ground, you go cav. If they have like the standard stuff, if they have cav, you go arch. If they have siege, you siege them. Hopefully
Okay.
making sense.
And what is it telling me whenever it is hitting the two? When I'm hitting like okay, let's just say I shoot range in there.
Mhm.
It hits Kev and it hits ground, or it hits.
Is it just me or did we just lose
So,
you?
she
No,
keeps
we
my
lost him
wife
for
from
a bit.
calling me. I'm sorry.
Okay, but better not ignore that.
Oh, I am. I'd
Mm.
rather know why the hell my troop is hitting two different types and it's like deflecting. Is that because their defense is good?
Are you
You
like
are one
splat?
brave man.
Are you splatting or are you like going positive on these hits?
It'll be like I might lose like 20 million points. You know, it's pretty much a power exchange.
Yeah, but
But
if you
but
if you're
I would
hitting
like to.
someone and they're losing two types of troops, it usually means you've outbuffed them by too much, or they haven't debuffed you at all, or they just don't have layers that are thick enough to hold even your one march off. Like if you hit someone that is a full keep and you range them and you kill both cav and ground, it usually means they don't have enough cav. Like your archers tore apart the cavs and then they went after ground or they went
Okay.
after archers, depending on what skill books they have on their wall. Like some people, I've seen people that forget to add range bonus, and then their archers like just don't do anything. I've seen people with no speed book on wall, and then their melee troops don't do anything. So it just depends. If you're killing more than one troop type, usually means they don't have enough of that one troop type that you should have killed. So you move on to like the next thing that that particular march would target. So that's like a
Okay, which
priority order for every troop type. So siege would go siege, and then if it kills all siege, it'll go after archers. Archers would do arch calves, and then it would go after ground. If you send cav, it would start with ground, and then it would go after calves. It just depends on what is inside the keep. It changes, but they
yeah,
all
yeah.
have a priority order.
Okay, so you said something about speed books.
Mhm.
Which speed books are you speaking about? Just the little boxes?
The cav speed and the ground speed book.
Those books need to be on a wall, general?
They should be on your PvP match, as well as your
Okay.
ground, as well as your like wall. Yes, typically
Oh
yes.
fuck. Well, I don't have my shit set up right.
It depends though.
Okay,
Not
guys.
it depends on your build. Like how big are you?
7.4. Nothing yet.
7 point
570 something
7.4
troops.
bill. Yeah, I would say you're gonna need both cav and ground speed books. Like you
Okay.
could play around a little bit. You can get away. Like you can. It just depends on how you've done your defense. Sometimes you do ground speed and you don't do cab speed, or if you have too many cabs, you try and get the cabs out quick. So you just do the cab speed and you don't do any ground speed. Or you know they're gonna arch you, so you just have the ground speed. Like it depends. It's just contextual. There's no universal answer. It depends on the troops that are inside your keep, but you should have one or both of the speed books.
Okay. Well, I've ate up enough of your guys' time. I'll just listen in from now on. I sound dumber every time I ask something.
No, they're not dumb questions. Oh, that's an old saying.
I do
Long
not know how
gone.
to kick myself.
I'll move you to audience, but thank you.
Thank you.
I think there are two more hands up. Can I invite the next person? Viper, you're still here?
Yeah, sorry. I'm just. I got some office emails. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, please. Sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna invite Tech Bay because his hand was raised first. There we go.
I asked my
Hey,
Viper,
hey,
is
bud, how you
Tech
doing?
Wave. I'm doing good, Ren. Thank you so much. This is the first time I'm actually speaking to you. I think on one of the chats in Line Up or somewhere, I think I had a small conversation with Viper. Hi, Viper.
Hi, how are you? I'm sorry, I'm just a little
Thank you so much.
distracted. Hi, how are you?
Right. So good, not bad. Thank you so much. I've got three questions. Um, you probably think it's a daft or stupid question, but I'm coming back into the game after about 6-7 months of a gap. I've got Keep 40 with 7.8 billion power from Continent 2. So the first question I have is, when because I'm in a small alliance which is about 80 billion power. So I've got two K40s in my alliance and a bunch of K38s and K37s. So when we go to the battlefield, we are facing about 8 billion power keep K40, 10 billion power K40. That's the maximum we have faced so far. The question is, when they are rallying, so that K40, which is doing all the rallies for the other lines, the enemy lines, they have the siege attack of let's say 2000 on the wall and well built. They don't have T15s, but they do have cav and ground, which is standard, which is the first one every K40 goes to. When we are attacking, so when I'm doing a rally, I've got T15 range, I've got T15 ground. So when I'm rallying, I just want to know how I can take the first layers off from their keep, and how I would be rallying that K40 to take him down, or just weaken him down so a little bit so he can't rally our players. That's the first question. The second question and the third question, they're small questions. They just you can answer them literally in 10 seconds. The second one is, how do you place the dragons on the generals? So I've got the basic dragons, which are the Celtic dragon, the blue dragon for the one Fafnir, and I've got the pink dragon, gold dragon, obviously on the wall. The question is, the pink dragon and siege and cow. How do I place them? Because I've got pink. I'm a bit confused. Where should I put the pink dragon on? Right now, I've got the Fafnir on siege, and I've got Jazar on my Roland, which is my cav general. I just want to find out which one shall I put. Where shall I put these three among these three uh, dragons? And the third question is the layers. So shall I? Because me being the rally runner, how shall I like set my marches for solo hitting and rallying? Because mainly I'll be doing the rallies, but in between sometimes I have to send some solo marches as well. Do I keep the march as the rally one or the solo one? That's all. These are three questions. If I can get both of your opinions, please.
Okay, Viper, go because I forgot the first question. This was too long
Uh,
ago.
I'm, uh, I, I, I will answer the third question first, and then you can answer second and the first. Okay. The third
No
question,
worries.
the answer is very simple. The third question, the answer is very simple. You keep the same march. There is not enough time to actually switch marches between a rally and a solo, so you keep the same march. That's your answer. What was your second question?
The second question was about the dragons. Where shall I place the dragon? I've got Jazar, I've got Fafnir, and I've got the pink dragon. I don't remember the name of it. Uh, The one from the
Okay,
events you get.
I think Celtic is a pretty good range dragon.
Yep.
Mm, I think Jaws. I think the pink one is probably a pretty good ground dragon. Oz. I really Safri for siege for sure.
Okay.
Uh, Oz. What do you put? Would you put Norway on ground or the pink one? I would
Uh,
put the pink one to be
Norway.
honest.
So I've got the Norway on my Elise,
yeah. So
so which is
Yeah,
I don't
I would put the
I don't use Celtic right now. It's on my bossing general, but I you can use it on range or you can use it on ground. I think it's better on range, but there's like 20%
okay.
march capacity and 50% ground defense maxed out for Celtic. So goes in both. You can depending on how many dragons you have. Jaws are it's on my backup wall general Leonidas, so it's all flats and stuff. But you can like if you look at the talents, you can use it on Cav. I think it has a lot more Cav stuff than it has for range, and it does have
Okay.
reinforcement buffs. Fafnir, I think, is universal. Gotta be siege. Like it doesn't matter what alliance you're in. If you're PvPing,
Okay.
has to be siege. Pink one I don't have, so I don't know shit about what talents it has.
Because if
Uh,
the pink one has the dragon for months, so you got the talent for the first one I think is for monsters, and the second one it's got the ground HP and it's got the mount HP as well.
okay, so depending on that, so that's why I think Viper was saying, would you put it on ground or cav? I think based on what I see here, you can go either way, but yeah, you could use it on ground or
no
cav,
no.
but
The only
Norway.
reason yeah, the only reason I say is because I don't think Norway is a good ground dragon.
What?
Okay.
No, I think it is now. Sorry. That I didn't mean to come across
Because it's got
like
HP. Because
arrogant
mine is at HP.
because with like talents going to 100, I think Norway now has a place in it as the ground dragon. Like it can be on your secondary march, like
Okay.
universal
Yeah,
ground attack,
but
ground HP.
yeah, but you don't want to take like Norway talents to 100 though.
Why?
Like 200 is like very expensive because I mean if you can afford talents to 100, you will get Amaterasu at some point.
Yeah, so Amaterasu on your primary ground, and then like for people that don't have Amaterasu, I think they can still go Norway.
I don't have a Metasu. I don't have the one day three dragon either. I'm sorry. I'm a small K40.
Okay, so let me say
I'm not
this. Let me say
medium.
this.
I'm a medium coiner as well, so I'm not heavy coiner. I'm just medium coiner. Sometimes, if an event comes, I'll just coin a little bit, and that's it.
Okay, so let me say this. My perspective on dragons is it depends on your situation, but most of them can be used on more than one march. So, like Norway can go on your siege as well if you don't have, like Kolch, for example. I've historically used Norway on my siege marches when I didn't
Mhm.
have any of the All-Star dragons. It can go on your
Okay.
ground. It can also go in your sub. So there are three places this can go. Thebes, I think, has to go on your wall, or it needs
Yep.
to go on your reinforcing siege march. Nidhogg can go as your cav primary, cav backup, or it can be on your backup range march, which is where I use Nidhogg. It's on my Douglas. It's on my backup archer.
Okay.
It does like I think it does like 12% more maxed out. 12% you get 12% more range attack with Nidhogg than you would with Celtic. Then Leiden, I think this is the only dragon that only has place on a range general. I don't see him being useful anywhere else. Materasu is a
Okay.
dedicated ground dragon. Kolch is a dedicated siege dragon. Jays, mostly is for calves, but I know some people in game that have gone experimental and use it on T11 marches with flats because it offers
Okay.
higher base stats because of how it scales. It goes to 1.7 mil, and these base stats, base attributes that it boosts, allows a better T11 hit. Uh, And then tree boy, I don't know how to pronounce this, so excuse that, but this is definitely just a wall dragon. Sorry, Viper, didn't mean to
Okay,
cut you, bro. But that's my take on dragons. And like I think
that's fine.
you can go multiple ways.
That's fine. What do you say about this, Viper?
Yeah, as I said, like I completely agree with that. It's just like you can go like most dragons are confused. So except like a Colchion or the new tree dragon, which are like absolutely set for one troop type, you can use it in a variety of ways. And what Oz said, I completely agree with.
Okay, let's come to the first question which I had. So that was for a, let's say if I'm on a battlefield and I've got a bunch of K38, 30, 37s, and I've got one K40 with me. I'm doing the rallies because I've got T15 range. So I'm doing the rallies, and the other player, the opponent, has 10 billion power or 7 billion power keep who's doing the rallies, and he's got siege attack on his wall, um, about 2,000, like over 2,000 or 2,500. And then how do I tackle that keep? So at least I can weaken him a little bit because so far a 7 billion keep or 6 billion keep, I can easily weaken that player down, and then they stop doing rallies on our players, and then
Okay,
we can
so
retake over the battlefield.
so if it's a really big keep, according to the
Mhm.
sizes you play, T11 to kill his upper siege. When his upper
Okay.
siege is dead, big siege. When you have killed his T9 T10 siege, then arch, and when you have killed his calves, then like calves and ground. That's the basic sequence.
Okay, that's fine. I think
All you all you
I
want
will
to add
try that.
anything to this?
No, I think I agree with that. Depending on like that's a very good battlefield strategy question. He's basically saying if I'm playing against someone and they have like one massive keep, how do I take that team apart? I think I agree with Viper. You kill a bunch of fillers that are filling his rally, so you slow them down, and then like in order to kill the bigger keep, you start with T11, take out their top tier and all that bit, like standard stuff.
Right, nice one. I think I'm gonna try this one next battlefield, maybe in next park, which is coming in next couple of days, or you know, we'll I'll try that
All
and
right,
see how that works.
all right, man. Best of luck.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Viper, and thank you, Oz.
Thanks,
Cheers.
bro.
Thank you,
Have a good
bro.
one. Cheers.
Bye for now.
Okay, I think we have three more. We've got 3 minutes. I'm gonna pull Jay Brewski. He's top of the list, and then I think Bad Bunny and DK Guardian. Hey, bud, how you doing, bro? I
Hey,
think
good morning, guys. How are y'all?
not too bad. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Thank you for taking the call.
Thank you so much for your time. How
So
can we help?
I'm a 14 bill keep, fairly T1 heavy, um, one bill T1, 200 mil T2, 100 mil T3, and then after T3, just kind of just regular layers, taking pretty nasty siege hits. Um, so just curious if there's anything you guys can recommend. Should I boost my like T2 through 7 T1s, or is there anything
Whi-
that I can
whi-
do?
Which server are you from?
873.
C4.
And you're taking siege, and you're taking siege hits from, like, can you just name some players?
My
Like, who
friend,
are you facing generally?
my
My
friend.
friend.
Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, you got it. I mean, my friend's siege is going to be nasty. So, uh, I mean, there's not a lot of ways around that, right? But, um, I think what you can do to actually reduce the hits is, as I said before, you can look at the siege HP debuffs, the gears, the generals. There is a sunken something event where you can get Jan Carroll. You can full spec him for 55% siege HP debuff, or maybe more. I don't exactly remember. if you can get some Baldwins and like full spec him, that's 55% CHP debuff. Look at all the level 4K gears which give CHP debuff. With all this, you can at least get your CHP debuff above 600 or 650, and that will help reduce it a lot.
Okay.
And beyond this, you can improve your CHP debuff, your CHP on the wall. Uh, you can get like all siege attack refines. Uh, all this will help, but yeah, at 14B, some siege is going to hurt, so you need to start like solo siege is going to hurt if you're going to come across all these big keeps. So you do need to focus on siege. You just can't focus on cabs anymore.
Okay. What do you recommend as far as like layering up from like 12 to 15?
Siege is something, like, I mean, I don't think Siege is something like Cav where you need lower layers. Siege lower layers actually are like, um, actually harm more than help. So for Siege, the more top tiers you get, the more tanky it is on defense. For offense, of course, you want more T13, but the top layers are very tanky in defense because they have more HP. So yeah, I mean, get as many top layers as possible.
Okay. Good to know.
Or
All right,
also,
guys.
if you want to add, or do you want to add anything to this?
Uh,
Um,
I was just gonna say I don't even see the stage anymore. I don't know what's going on. I was just gonna say like start like thickening up your T13, T14, T15. I don't know if you have T15. I don't remember you mentioning. But I would thicken up the T13 to T15 siege layers. That's like there are two ways to address solo siege problem. One is, as Viper pointed out, having better buffs and better debuffs, which he called out. The other thing is quantity. You're gonna need enough of it to tank a siege solo, especially as you
you
start going against higher and higher buff. I think the highest siege in game right now is like 4600 or something on attack.
did you mean like 12 and up or 13 and up?
I would up 13s first because you can use them both sides and they give less points against even a solo. I would push 13s at 14 billion. I'd say you probably need about 12 mil, 13 mil. And then I'd push 14s to like 8 to 9 mil minimum. And then I would push 15s to like 4 5 mil.
Yeah, I only have T15 ground right at this point, so that's
So
what I'm working on now.
in that case, I would probably do like 13 to 14 mil T14s and like 22, 23 mil T13s because you don't have T15
Okay,
siege, so you compensate that by having higher quantity of 14 and 15.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Like the rule of
Awesome.
thumb I've always used is whatever the march size in game is, you try and do like 1.8x on 14s and like 1.6 to 1.8x, and you try and go like almost 3x on T13. That's for siege.
Oh
Like if
wow.
someone can throw 8 million at you, you want roughly 14 mil T14s and 20 mil, 20 close to 24 mil T13s if you don't have T15.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. That's good stuff.
No props.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the info.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you for your time. Bye.
Thanks, bud. Moving back to audience, bringing in the Bad Bunny. Bunny, you're in.
Yes, hi Oz, hi Viper, how are you guys? You
Hey,
doing
bud.
good?
Very good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm a huge fan of you guys. I watch all of your videos. Love your gameplay. So my question was, can you please explain T1, different T1 traps like of ground, ranged, and I'm a non-coiner. I'm currently a ghostable keep. So what would you recommend for a non-coiner, small guy to be?
Okay. Let me just pull up that report. I'm still sharing my screen. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
This
we can see
is
it.
this is a free to play play. Oh well. she does coin $5 here and there. Not gonna lie. This is a ground-based trap. So she has 1.5 mil T1s, then 27 mil T2, 1 mil T3. So it's like straight into her T1s is what she wants on the keep, and then she has like a little bit of archer layer to stop what's coming at her, and then all her refines on that Leonidas are gonna be ground. So the gear selection is important. I don't know why she hasn't upgraded, but she can. So all ground attack, all ground defense, all ground HP, everything flat. Everything has to be flat. And then if you don't coin, interesting. Should have been. I expected Cal. I'm disappointed. I expected this to be battle tested. That you get from SVS. So that should be up here, and that would give you more flats on your dragon. It would be all ground flat as well, and then your subgens and everything else should be debuffing what people are gonna attack you with. Let's see if we can see that. No, we don't see that. No, we don't see that on Scout. I forgot. Sorry, my bad. So that's like one, that's ground, right? You could literally take the exact same principle, apply it to Cav, and then you can take the exact same principle and apply it to Archer. Where it gets interesting, and this is like, I think Lost was trying to do this before he left. He was on 428 Vig, one of the best Archer traps in game when he played. Uh, uh, you can mix, you can take like a ground arch combo and you can beef up the arch attack and use the ground as a meat shield. You can take a cav and arch combo as well. You can mix two types as well, which gets a little bit more interesting, but it also depends on your on your enemies, like people that you usually run into. And there are pros and
I
cons
run
of.
into like small keeps like maximum K41, which has like 2200% attack buff, not more than that.
Then you can do whatever, whichever type. Just pick one and go on that path. Like just whatever benefits your alliance is what I would suggest doing. Like at RSP we have 11 trap keeps, and we rotate them throughout battlefield. There are two dedicated archer traps. There's a bunch of ground-based traps. There's a bunch of cav-based traps, and there are a couple people that are experimenting and doing mixed type of trap. But like it's all being developed in accordance to what other people have. So like we didn't have an archer trap before, and so people started building archer trap kind of thing. So whatever benefits your team is what I would do. If you don't have one today, I would prioritize and build a trap that helps my team. Wipe, anything to add?
Uh,
No, I agree with
yeah,
everything you said.
Uh, sorry to interrupt. I wanted to ask, like, I'm from a fairly new server, 1052. We only have cap traps here. So, how do the archer trap and ground traps work? What are the mechanics of these? Can you please explain?
So archer trap, you want so basically what you're trying to do is T1, right, has very little point. Actually, we're playing SVS, so I can show you this if it opens. Come on, game. And I'm sharing my screen. I'm just assuming that people can see it. Trying to scroll. It wants me to coin more. I've already coined. Go away. Okay, let's see. Let's see. SVS, come on. Bro, where is it? There it is. Ah, just bear with me. I'll eventually figure it out. No, it's not here, is it? Bro, why am I clicking on packs? It should be. Where are the true points, bro?
It's right there
Yeah, yeah,
below.
there you go. So killing a level 1 troop is 1 point, level 2 is 3 points, so on and so forth, and it'll go all the way to like 16, right? And that's one troop. So the reason traps work is basically you build a gazillion of this, and then if someone solos you, the maximum they'll usually kill is 8 mil to 10 mil, depending on how well you're set up, and sometimes even less. So you're giving up like 5 to 10 mil points, but they're sending a proper layered march at you, which would usually have these 11 to 15 on the heavier scale. So if they send like 3 mil T15 at you, that's already really sleepy. I can't do maths. That's like 210 mil points. Sorry. And then whatever two, this would then equate to another 12 mil points, etc., etc. So the reason traps work is you offer too little points. In exchange, people give away too much trying to kill you. And one of the things that drives most activity in this game is ego. So people coin and people go, yeah, I can burn shit up. And oh shit, I'm recording. I gotta be careful with my language. People attack you because they think they spend money and they can kill whatever comes in their way, and that sort of drives majority of player behavior. So they would splat into your T1s, and you would score a lot of points. You would get all the rewards, and they get nothing. Make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you for your time, Oz and Viper. Uh, I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
your help.
much.
Have a good day, guys.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thanks, bud. Have a good one. All right, move to audience. Last one, DK.
Hey, Viper. Hey, Oz. How you guys doing today?
Hey, bud. Not
Hey
too bad. How
DK,
are
how are
you?
you? Good. How are you?
All good, guys. All good. Early, but that's fine. So I have a question. I know with Reigns, like I've been playing this game for a few years, so I know how to properly rain people. Um, I have this one report where we're in Battlefield and my friend was getting range rallied, and I didn't have anything else but siege. So we reinforced him with siege, and the siege did really well against a K40 or K41, and this guy is like a brand new K38. So I was wondering if you could, um, like, if you want me to share my screen, I can show you the report, and then we can kind of walk through it because if if a siege rain works better, I don't know why we don't reinforce with siege a little bit more often when somebody's getting ranged instead of reinforcing with ground. Does that make sense?
I'll take this off if you are okay with that.
Yeah, sure, bro.
Okay, so a lot of people, like we have heard people say they have hacked Evony and all, but a lot of people say that, there is like, it's the same way Siege functions, but in my head, Siege doesn't function the same way, not in every report, right? Like, I have seen Siege Reigns do absolutely nothing in an Archer rally. What Siege
Okay.
does is Siege first focuses on Siege layers, and then it can. I mean, in my head at least, Siege doesn't have a set priority of troops to target. Like ground will target range first, right? So it goes straight for the range, and hence is just so much more effective. But Siege might focus on Siege layers just long enough for the range to do a lot more damage to the. And what you're talking about is a K38, right? Think of a K42 with a lot of calves, right? Like a 30B K42. Do you want a troop to reinforce it, which will focus straight on range? Like, imagine the ground running towards archers and killing them, right? Versus siege, which is hitting like fighting with the siege layers first, and then by that time the archers get like probably 3-4 turns at your calves, which is not very high HP, all dials. So that's the thing, right? I think ground reaches there in less number of turns than siege, and I'm not sure that siege always focuses on range right after it gets through the siege layers. And also another thing, right? Like once ground reaches range, uh, they kill them a lot faster. if your range has very high HP, I think siege takes a little longer to kill them because the ground, like the base stat attack of ground is much higher than siege. But this is just, I'm not sure. I'm not very sure about this point. Oz can correct me if I'm wrong, and I probably am.
Nah, I think you're fine. I think that is on point. I was just gonna say, I think siege range work against archer rallies to an extent, but they are not as effective as a ground rain. So if you properly rain someone with ground marches that are properly buffed, that is going to match or outbuff the incoming rally, then ground would always outperform any other type of reinforcement to that keep. And that is why against
Okay.
archers people send ground because ground, as Viper pointed out earlier, the priority one troop that it'll kill is Archer if it doesn't have anything else to kill. So if you fill the same embassy with, let's say, 40 million ground, and that exact rally came at you, uh, it would outperform the siege range, 40 million siege range, assuming everything else is same buff percent wise
Okay.
because the base stats would be significantly different. Remember, Siege has like the lowest stats. Uh, so it'll do some damage. It just wouldn't be as effective as the ground reinforcement. But it's not wrong. Like if you're in
Gotcha.
a hurry and all that bit, I've done this. Like when I'm setting rallies and I don't know Nox is being targeted, I would send him whatever march I have free, and it's usually like my backup siege. Even though he's being hit by
Yeah, yeah.
archers, I would just send my backup siege because I have my grounds parked into portals or something. So it works, but it's just I think ground against archer is probably the best.
Yeah, it's like you can reign with calves against a siege rally also, but siege would be the best troop deck to reign with.
Yeah, exactly that. It's like, can you reign with other things? Yes, but what is the most efficient thing to reign with? And in that case, against archers, it is ground. I've never seen siege reinforcements outperform ground reinforcements. I'd be very surprised. If you have reports, just like
Gotcha.
post them in the Discord would be super
Okay,
interesting.
perfect. Yeah, because like he just
I think I lost him. I can't hear him anymore. Was it just my
Yeah,
connection?
yeah.
through
No, no, I lost him too.
my
I, I just,
Nope.
I
my
just hear.
buddy's
No, no.
cabs and ground, but like he didn't have a whole lot of rains, but our siege. You hear me? Nothing.
You're finally back. I can hear you now.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I could still hear you guys. That was weird. Um, so yeah, he took out all of his like cabin ground, but our siege rains, uh, they didn't take any damage at all, and they killed quite a bit of troops
Yeah,
from
but the reason, but
that
the, I agree that
range
I,
rally.
okay, I agree.
So that's why I don't know
Okay,
if it was
okay,
just a
okay.
fluke report.
Oh, no, no, you're
That's
breaking
why I
up. So
kept
let
it,
me just answer that.
or
Uh,
if there was some.
yeah. Okay. So basically, uh, like like if you just compare a range hit to range against siege one on one versus range against ground one on one, ground will be killed more than range because will be killed more than siege because think about this. Does archers really damage siege? But archers can damage ground a lot more, right? What you're talking about is a
Yeah,
K38 with like not a lot of calves. So siege was the one which was really doing all the fighting, right? And on a K38, like
yeah,
with those configurations, siege might do well better than ground because the ground green gets killed uh, more. easily because like I mean, you don't really have a lot of backup from the keep, and siege outlasts ground and keeps fighting the arch. So it might happen, but overall, ground ruins are better. Like in there might be
Okay,
some one-off cases where it
perfect.
happens like that, but overall, ground ruins are better.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem,
All right,
King.
thank you.
I'm just gonna
We
answer
will
something.
take one last question. Sorry,
Uh,
yeah.
I was just gonna say, I was just gonna answer something from the chat, which was X-Wing asking about presets. So, preset one for me is T11s. Well, it's all set up for bossing right now, so it's only 956. Preset two is archers. Uh, Siege, I have 10,000 layers, like all of my presets. The layers are 10,000. I always have been. T11 I use 100k T15s and 100k T14s. So 100k like T9 to T15 siege layers. Archers, I'm like super heavy on T12s, which again, like it's not buffed up right now because it's set up for bossing. Because I play the game 24/7. I don't sleep. And then number three is ground. Number four is Cav. Again, super heavy on T15 and T14. That's like 70% of my march usually. Number five is Big Siege with my primary siege general. Number six is my reinforcing siege, but this is where I've done something funky because I have multiple reinforcement siege. So as you can see, I have like 500k bar empty here, and that's because if I send the first one out and I'm selecting like the new one, let me just go to favorites. It's gonna pop up this backup Edward Teach. So I want to be able to select him and then send the third siege for reinforcement. And then I have my backup ground and like backup archer. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, whatever you want to do, but there were like a bunch of questions about presets. And all layers are 10k across all marches. Like every single march, the layers are 10,000. I'll shut up now. Back to you.
Me? Oh
Yeah.
no, no. I was just. I'm good. If anyone else has a question, a last question, then, or otherwise we'll wrap this up.
So yeah, I'll see
You
you
can just
later.
raise your hand.
No
Mok.
one did.
Yeah, I just invited Mok.
Okay, let's go.
You guys hear me
So
all
we
right?
have three people. Hey, hi, Mok. How are
Okay.
you?
Yeah, I posted in the Battle Mechanics channel. Just curious your thoughts on mount troop speed and ground troop speed on defense and attack, because that seems pretty controversial.
What's the controversy? I didn't get this.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, there's videos of it doesn't help at all, and then but then you mentioned it earlier, so I thought I would ask.
I'd love to see proof of it not working. I've got what? Let me just. I've got
Be nice,
about.
Augie.
Yeah, I will be
I
nice.
know how you feel about this. Be
Yeah,
nice,
I
Augie.
know, I know, I know. Let me just quickly go through this. I've got about, I think about 17 people in the rally team. This is how Vig is set up. Like RSP and Vig are very similar in their setup. And I have 11 traps. These are all built by experimenting and learning and taking hits and attacking people. I can tell you after I probably have over 10,000 reports of battlefield, like hitting different people, all-star echelons and all that bit, and other people from VIG or RSP will attest to this. I have not seen a single report where none of these books work. I use them on my PvP general, uh, like on my ground general, and this is gonna be embarrassing if I don't actually have it right now. But I have ground speed on my ground general. I have it on my defense. So I have it both sides. Man, this is hard to scroll in the
Yes,
blue stacks, but they work.
yeah, same.
I have never seen
Yeah,
a single evidence of them not working.
Or I've switched
unless
them
I
in and
s-
out.
yeah, like I know you can experiment. Like it's not hard and fast rule that you have to use it. That's not the case. It's the same as Dragon, multiple applications, and you
Mm,
can build keeps differently. Like you can play around, experiment, ultimately a game. But
yeah,
saying that it doesn't work needs to be proven. I haven't seen that proven. I've seen like random
Yeah.
files, like
So just
whatever. I haven't
yeah,
seen an actual
yeah,
game report
yeah.
that proves it doesn't work.
So think about just common sense, right? Like it's a real war, right? There are archers who are targeting your calves who are going out, right? Like, will they be able to kill more calves if they're faster, moving faster? Like, are calves easier targets if they're moving faster or if they're moving slower?
I mean, I get it from a logical perspective, yes, but I was looking if we had numbers or anything in that case because I don't want to set. If I'm setting rallies, I'd want everyone set up the same way. So just wanted to see what your guys' thoughts are. But
And again,
oh,
like on attack, right? Like on
mm-hmm,
attack, the defenders archers are targeting your calves, right? So you want
mm-hmm.
your calves to get through the range of archers and get to the castle as fast as possible because calves don't engage. Like you would think that calves would engage their calves at first, but they don't. The priority of calves are very different, right? Calves generally dodge the calves of the defenders and go straight for their ground. Or you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I have
No.
seen at least.
Yeah, yeah, you're 100%
So
absolutely right. So I don't like naming people, but the easiest way to nullify that theory is go to your wall and take off siege range bonus, because apparently those numbers are incorrect, like the game has lied to everyone. And take off the archer range bonus. Take off those two big books and ask someone to siege solo you, and then put on those
I'd
two
rather not.
books. Like just do it in Battlefield, don't have to do it in
Yeah,
SPS, and then ask someone to seed solo you with and without the book, and that'll tell you everything about whether or not uh I don't even know how to complete this sentence, man. I'm very emotional about
yeah,
bullshit
yeah,
like
I
this.
get it. I get it.
I, I think we got this. So let's move on. Two more people wanted to speak, and we're over
Sure.
time already. So we'll just quickly answer the other questions, right? So I'm
Thanks,
just bringing
guys.
Tavoski up. Thank you so much, Mok, for your time. I really appreciate you being here. So, hi, Tavoski, how are you?
Hi, how are you? Thank you very much. Very
I'm good.
interesting, very interesting content. Yeah,
Sorry, we are a little over time. So,
yeah,
just try
very fast,
try to
very
ask it.
fast. Yeah,
Yeah,
very fast.
go for it. Go for
I'm
it.
17. I'm 17.7. Currently, we started playing All Stars, and we started new. We're very new at this, but I'm trying to build a siege-based keep. It's very thick on layers, 10, 12, from 1 to 14. I have a problem with the defense taking rallies. I don't know if they're good or not, regardless. But I was wondering if someone wants to have a proper block, strong block of defense from siege, shall you thicken the T12 11 or jump directly to 13?
Yeah, jump directly to 13, I would say, because they
Yeah.
also help in attack and defense. For siege defense, it's mostly the top layers which are really good. So yeah, I would say jump directly to 13, 14, and 15. And siege, don't go for lower layers at all. Lower uh, lower layers and flat don't help as much in siege. Go all percentages if you're looking to build a siege based keep.
Yeah.
Or if you want
Okay.
to add something.
No, I agree
No,
with that.
increase. Sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I experimented with siege flats for almost 4 or 5 months on multiple RSP keeps myself personally. They don't help like they used to when K45 wasn't here, because
Yeah.
a couple flats were helping the T9 T10s back then. But since K45, the flats are just useless. Siege flats attack, that is 80k siege flats, are useless.
Okay, but fast because I'm trying to extend the playing in the game from the first second to the third rally. I'm getting rallied by 40 to 45 million troops. First, second are siege, big siege, T11, then archers. So once the top players are gone, I'm going back to the ratio that you just mentioned. Very interesting information about 1 times 3, 1 times 8, and 3 times based on the attack of the solo. If you're
Hmm.
getting soloed, I'm just wondering, is it 1 to 1 saying, no, it's better to have like a minimum of T13, 25, 30 million? Is there a threshold that you think can keep the castle alive after the third rally? I'm wondering about after the third rally, not the first, not
It,
the
it,
second.
it, it depends on what kind of rallies you're facing. There
Uh,
is no there is no
Siege, I
straight
mean.
answer to this.
Mm,
No,
Okay.
it depends on the strength of the rally, the buffs of the rally, the numbers of the rally you're
Yeah.
facing. It's not
yeah,
like
yeah.
a straight question.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of different things, but I think I did a video on my own build a couple weeks ago. The only way you're stopping siege rally is by having a siege wall and having siege reinforcements when it matters. Like one, you're gonna have to
Siege
have
wall.
Right.
you're gonna have to have comparable buffs to what the rally is bringing at you, and then you're gonna have to outmatch the now quantity of troops that are being sent your way. So the only way that'll happen is if you coin a lot. Like that's the straight
Okay.
answer for building a siege-based defense is you're gonna have to coin. Like there's no alternate of defending against siege. Like if this thing loads up on my blue stacks, I'll show you. Uh, what I've done
That would be.
in my own keep is I'm at about 27 mil T15s, and I'm gonna push that to like 30 mil, and I'll do 30 mil on T14s as well. And then I have a wall of T13, which is 130 mil, and then I'm pushing like my
Oh my
Okay.
god.
T12s.
So
So
so it's an upper wall, not a T1 wall. Okay. Okay. Fine.
yeah, it's like
T1
the
walls don't work as such.
with
Yeah.
siege, the only wall you can sustain is T13. As you can imagine, this is a high tier troop. So
Yeah.
buffing this is gonna require like coining to get that siege percentage, which is why if you're not a high-end coiner, I would not recommend doing a siege-based defense. I would do what the next tier is, which is cav. So you could go like once people kill the siege in a keep, they would go after calves, and calves can be you can have like I'm trying to build a T12 wall, but I've also like the way I'm layered is all the way up to T8, I'm 100 mil, and then it'll scale up as I go down. So T6, T5, and it's you can have as many as you want. So cav, then you can do like a lot of flats and stop a lot of rallies and all that bit, and it's not that expensive because flats are easy. And you can have like as long as you can generate RSS, building troops is not that hard. But siege requires buffs and it requires like quantity both, not just quantity.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you so much, Zawalski. We'll take one more question very quickly, and then I will hang around. If any of you guys have any question, I can hang around for another half an hour. But we'll close the session officially. So I think Mags wanted to ask a question. I'm just getting Mags up here. Uh, Mags, we're a lot over time, so if you could just
So
ask your question,
I am
we'll try
a
to answer
10,
it as quickly as possible. Yeah, sorry.
nope, no worries. I'm a 10.9K41. We split up the alliance for quals because we've had changes in who owns accounts. And I am the largest, well, I'm the largest actively playing. We're using what used to be Ignat's account for reigning and setting
Mhm.
rallies. And is there any defense against a K43 or 44 with 3,500 buffs?
Yeah, definitely. Like this depends. If you're K41, you should be going positive on solos, at least.
I historically have been a support player and a defensive player.
Okay.
So I am built. we joke built by Earl, um, to defend. So one of the comments, I think it was 2 or 3 SVSs ago, John Wick was one of the guys that was on the other server. And his comment was, this All Stars will be about defense. If that is the case, what is the best thing once we get out of qualifiers? Once we get to the true, we're broken up into the different leagues. What is going to be the best thing to build to defend against these bigger
Right.
keeps?
Yeah, I'm guessing you're C4, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
898.
Okay. Okay. So if I was playing All Stars, I would not take defenses. I come from C4. I started in C4 and I moved to kind of RSP a couple of years ago. Uh, I would not take an All-Star rally, not even in C4. The buffs in C4 are still crazy. I know some of the biggest coiners are gone and all that has happened, but the buffs in there are still nasty.
They are.
I wouldn't be taking an all-star rally. So the best defense in all-star is port.
Move.
Yeah,
Yep.
port.
Okay.
Keep
Got
ports
it.
and port away. Don't try and take rallies, because 10 bill in like I don't even remember. Let me just pull up. Viper, what's your warhol?
45
No, I mean like bro.
in
Uh,
all stars.
yeah.
I think closer to 100 million. Closer to
Ooh.
100 million.
Okay. Yeah.
All
That
stars.
that answers a lot.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know if I have a report right now. Nothing opens up. Let me see. This might be it. I'm not even. Yeah,
It,
I'm not even a K45. I'm a K44, and there are plenty of those guys and C4 as well. That's a 83 million rally right here, and it's people are gonna optimize for all stars. No one's eating like. No one's gonna be able to eat 100 million rally and go positive. Maybe Surfil,
Yeah.
maybe I think Neo Matrix and C5 or C6, whatever continent he's on. Outside that, I don't know of a single person that'll go positive. Maybe Viper. He's VIP
now
2, so
Phil
I'd
doesn't
say
go VIP. Phil doesn't go positive even on VIP big rallies
yeah. So
like he didn't last time.
yeah, I won't take an all-star rally at all. Port away if you want the dragon. Port away if you want the castle. Join as many offensive rallies as you can because offense is a lot more points than defense.
We don't have a setter.
What? Like in all
We
stars, you're
don't
gonna
have
have
a.
For all stars,
all
Well,
stars.
oh
You're
for
gonna
well.
all
have
stars,
Okay.
you have a
True.
set of
Not false. Okay. Got it.
yeah,
Okay.
all stars. You're gonna have sellers. These
Yeah.
K44s, K43s, K45s in your continent are gonna show up. There's some really nice
Okay.
players in C4.
Yeah. Bunch of good people. Crazy, crazy buffs.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I would never say sit down and take a rally in All Star. That's basically asking you to not go to the next round, pretty much.
Okay. Got it. Thanks so much.
All right, no
all
dramas.
right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks everyone. I think we went way over time.
Yeah, we did. We had some great questions and some great participation.
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone.
thank you. Almost 120 people out here. Thank you everyone for your time. Enjoy the rest of your, I don't know, is it Thursday or Friday for you? It is Friday for me.
Tuesday for
I
me.
gotta go
Tuesday
sleep.
for me.
Yeah, I gotta go sleep so I can get drunk tomorrow. Well, today,
All
in a
right.
few hours. Have a good one. See you guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye, bro.